And down spawning in the bottom right on Shakira's Plateau is the red Protoss Maverick from mGG. QED.Bloodmyst was a player who came to us from, used to be a member of Tor, went on hiatus, and when he came back he decided to join our ranks and has been an asset ever since, as we don't have many Terrans in our team. So he's definitely been a handy person to have in a lot of our clan wars and a lot of our matchups, so it gives us that extra depth we need in the Terran race.
Sure, there we go. I accidentally had my microphone muted in the stream. There we go, all fixed now. Alright.
We'll see where this build goes from here. It looks like Bloodmyst will be walling off at the top of the ramp. And the pylon is going out for Maverick at the top of his ramp too. Yeah. Again, odd from Maverick. I don't normally see Protosses do this against Terran. Have pylons near the front of their bases, mainly due to the fact of early 2 racks pressures. When you can lose that pylon can be just so dangerous and annoying. But he's willing to go with this, and we'll see where it heads from here.
Definitely, indeed. Alright, so the probe for Maverick now going to sneak up here, and we'll have to see if it gets as much of a... Oh, here we go, and here comes the aggression from that probe. Bloodmyst immediately pulling the second SCV as he saw what happened in that game earlier tonight, where that probe was able to get the kill, become the hero of Ire.
I'm pretty sure he's probably seen it happen to him plenty of times on ladder 2, and is quite adept in making sure he deals with that probe straight away.
Yeah, no, definitely indeed. Alright, so the Chrono Boost being thrown down on the probes, or it was being thrown down on the probes to start off with, so it doesn't look like Maverick's going to be going for any super tight aggression here. And there we go, so no Chrono Boost going out for a Zealot yet.
No, but it does look like Bloodmyst looks to expand behind this, so it will be a 1 racks expand. That probe didn't see the expansion, but I'm guessing he's probably expecting it by the fact there was no gas down, no other supply depot down. You know, obviously there was minerals being saved for something.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Alright, so yeah, so this expansion's gonna... Now, did Maverick manage to see it? That's the question I have at the moment, actually hitting it. Alright, so he hasn't seen it, so what's going through his mind at the moment is he's probably going to be going for a timing push or attack, depending on how all Inishing wants to get with it. That bunker's definitely going to help with Bloodmyst throwing it down preemptively, because it does look like there's going to be a few stalkers on the way with that warp gate technology coming. So he's going to be set up for a pretty nice defense here if any aggression comes Bloodmyst's way.
Yeah, he's throwing on the bunker nice and early. He's protecting nicely. He's got those Marines continually production, and with the 2 extra racks going down, it's a very similar build to what a Ghost was doing, but maybe it's executed a bit nicer. The difference in League being shown here, just the bit smoother execution from Bloodmyst. He's not getting that. He's making sure that bunker is up nice and early. Other little factors like that.
Yeah, and it looks like this Stalker and this Probe are just going to move out and try and do the same kind of deal they did last game. The last game they played against a Terran, sorry. But the bunker's already going to be complete. The Stalker's going to have to make sure he doesn't lose any hull damage, and he doesn't. Nice pullback there.
Nice, this is exactly the same build for Maverick coming so far, except he's got a much earlier expansion than last time, mainly due to the fact that he got scouted a bit earlier. When I say much earlier, it's probably about a minute earlier, if that. It's just because of the spawn position and because of where the scouting happened. He found out a lot earlier that Bloodmyst had that expansion down and is following suit quite nicely.
Yeah, definitely. So being on top of his mules, and these Stalks are also going to come out. Ooh, and one loses a tad bit of health, but these Marines need to pull back. They're getting a bit bold. And will that one make it? There we go.
So no units died in that. Did a hull damage to 1 Stalker and 1 Marine in the red, bleeding heavily. But nice micro from both players there, avoiding any deaths so far. So it's still a bloodless game so far.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see what Maverick wants to kind of commit to at the moment. He's not being super decisive, and there goes another 3 gates. So it looks like we're going to be seeing a bit of a delay for that, just because that's how that expansion went.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's going for the same build.
Yeah, no, actually that makes a lot of sense. He does have, yeah, he has the gas ready at his disposal, and he'll be rallying over.
Bloodmyst obviously didn't realise it wasn't cross spawns. It is just the version that was listed via the map pool, so it's not cross spawns. I'm guessing by the answer you can tell it's not.
Yeah. Being very nonchalant with their answers there, not to give anything away. And Bloodmyst is actually...
Well, Bloodmyst had checked up into that spawn.
Yeah, and Bloodmyst is going to start accruing a bit of supply here as he's set himself up on those two bases at the moment. And so his SCB count's going to start to go up and up, and with those mules as well. There we go, the money scan finding where that base is for Maverick.
Yes, want to see a tech going. It is going to be identical build, 7 gate into a high Templar, all in repeatably. But Bloodmyst has taken suit from the early game he saw Maverick played. He's already got a 3rd bunker down. Missile turret going up to get rid of any observers that might come in. His only worry now is if he drops that twat, instead of getting the high Templar, goes for blink and goes to the high ground. That would be Bloodmyst's major worry in this engagement now.
Yeah, definitely. So the unit's starting to pile up in the centre of the map here. We've got the 3 sentries have each got quite a few force fields on them, and then the zealots coming out as well. No upgrades for Maverick as of yet in relation to his units, and +1 attack being about halfway complete for Bloodmyst as well.
He also has stim done, so he's got that advantage already. I said it's very similar to build to what Ghost was trying to do against Maverick in their matchup. Just very, very clean. Hasn't missed a beat so far, and has all the defense up and ready for when Maverick tries his push. So it'll just come down to micro and how well the force fields go, and whether or not the SCVs are pulled in time.
Yeah, just rearranging his army just to make sure that the zealots are going to be taking the damage. There we go, so they're running up now. And those 3 bunkers are giving in, all those Marines and Mortars back in, very nicely done. So the force fields are actually being a bit counterproductive here for Maverick. He loses quite a few zealots in that engagement.
They did get a fair few Marines and Marauders in exchange, so it was a fairly even exchange between both the players there. No real major advantage, and they'll reset and try again. The warp gate being very handy for Maverick right now, as he can replenish a lot quicker than Bloodmyst can. But the Medivacs popping means that now Bloodmyst can stim without too much of a worry.
Yeah, and Bloodmyst throwing down the scan in the centre of Maverick's base, seeing exactly what he's up against. Even forcing a few warp-ins from Maverick back at his main base. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not from Bloodmyst. But
So he got scared of a drop.
yeah, that makes sense. So this factory is probably not even going to make it anywhere, so if I was him, I'd probably even be rallying it, trying to get as much information inside the base as well. Oh, there we go, see you later.
Double Forge and Twilight down from Maverick now, and the 3rd, so it is a very similar build to last time. Difference being this time he hasn't done that extra damage he expected to do. Is Bloodmyst going to walk right past this pylon without killing it? He might, he's left 1 unit there to kill it. Oh no, he's coming back now.
Supply block before he gets on supply block. There we go. And yeah, at this stage of the game, there is starting to be a bit of a supply gap, and losing this pile is going to be quite bad for Maverick, as he isn't. There we go. So he starts producing numbers. He's going to be slightly handicapped at the moment, whilst his upgrades start churning over.
His whole army is up protecting that 3rd at the moment. Not necessarily a wise idea, as it gives a chance for Bloodmyst to do a drop against what minimal units he has protecting him here, which is not that many. But Bloodmyst is actually going to scout that 3rd. It's not a good idea from Bloodmyst. He's going to push up straight into a bunch of sentries and zealots who just about have charge finished. When that charge finishes, it's going to be very, very dangerous. He needs to keep...
Nice force field.
Oh no, beautiful force fields catch a lot of the units there. He won't even firing. He needs to get out of there, and he's even doing lifting up maneuvers.
Although he's held on.
I think Bloodmyst might just have enough.
Sentry's going down, so no additional.
But the reinforcing zealots. Beautiful stutter step in there from Bloodmyst, but the zealots are still going to force them back and out.
Alright, so he's probably even going to end up.
But Maverick might have to give up this 3rd.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt him definitely. Look at the supply gap now. He's
Definitely.
60. Going on actually good. Yep, so he's full 50, 60 behind now.
Both players are at even upgrades though. So losing this 3rd just sets the game back at even. There's no real advantage either way. The unit count though is starting to get quite heavy in Bloodmyst's favour, and he hasn't replenished his units at all. Like, they're all still back at his base, so he's really using this as kind of like a strike force and really trading effectively, taking out a lot of units for what small force he has left. It's a very wise move, but I think Maverick has got the scent of this happening and is bringing his units back. No, he's actually going to push forward them. It's a bad idea. Bloodmyst is coming in with a drop with just enough units that could cause a fair bit of damage to the back of Maverick's base, depending on where he decides to go. Maverick is falling back now.
Yeah, it looks like Bloodmyst is actually going to catch him between a rock and a hard place, pushing out with his secondary main force as well. So he's going to try and bait the units out in one direction and then just slam in the other one.
Yes, and by having that tower, he can see that the expansion now is going down here. So he's aware that Maverick is still trying to expand behind this, and Maverick's just in trouble. He's scouting left, right, and centre to find what's going on. Problem with this build, he has no observers out. He can't find anything going on.
Yeah, and there we go.
Denied again from Bloodmyst. And the drop going in the main as well. Bloodmyst is going to fall back with these units. These zealots are going to follow, but he doesn't care. As he can get back to his bunkers, he should be quite safe to deal with this.
Yeah, and he's going to wreak havoc in the base of Maverick at the moment. Nothing left to kind of defend this. And yeah, no, with the high ground position and those bunkers, he's going to be able to easily hold this.
Those medivacs are going to keep killing those units. They're targeting down the forges now, preventing the upgrades, which are giving Maverick that bit of advantage. And getting rid of the Twilight, a bit late now though, the Twilight's done its job. I don't think he had Blink yet, so yeah, we'll avoid the Stalkers getting Blink. Now he needs to run away with these medivacs. It is target firing the one without anyone in it though, so medivacs do escape. Bloodmyst has regathered his force. He hasn't overextended himself at all, which is the best bit. He could have tried to force an engagement there with his main force against the main force of Maverick, decided it was too many zealots and fell back to the high ground to defend himself, which was a very, very wise manoeuvre. He did lose a few units on the way back to his base, but in the long term that worked out much more beneficial to him, as he was able to get that third up and running without any trouble and really get his economy boosting, which gives him the 100 supply lead he has.
Yeah, no, he's in quite a commanding position, and I think he'd need Squirtle-esque storms to be able to kind of clutch your way back into this from Maverick, but he's going to try and make it work as he's rebuilding his Twilight and building, I think that might be his first robo of the game. So
yes, see the only problem with Maverick's build is without having those observers, he had no idea where Bloodmyst's army was during that whole engagement. He had his forces running around in circles trying to work out where to go to defend. Bloodmyst had the reign of the map.
Yeah, and he's got, I'm not sure if they're dead, but he's got ghosts working in this army. Oh, and he's going to be able to catch these Templar before they're able to get off their storms. That's quite
beautiful work. Maverick was caught off guard there. Did not have his the Templars in his range of view, and now he's lost his natural. And I'd say he's probably going to lose the game here. He just can't get enough units out. There's no more mining going on. He has got a bit of a bank, but these zealots are in a choke now, which is the worst place he wants zealots to be. And the GG from Maverick. So Bloodmyst has pulled it back, showing how his PVT has his TVP has